To take a look at the very last question on this, which is 5.4. 5.4 says, on their return journey, Danny and Susan took a train from Hiroshima to Tokyo. The train left Hiroshima at 8:06. So the train is moving at 8:06. It stopped at 8 stations en route for 4 minutes. So 8 times for 4 minutes, it's not moving, right? It reached Tokyo at 12:03. The distance the train traveled is 816. Now calculate the average speed which the train is traveling. So speed is, you need distance and you need time to calculate the speed, right? The unknown is speed. We know that because they said calculate the speed. But then we have distance, which is 816. They didn't give us time, but they gave us the information about time. So we have to find time first, right? So we have a problem here where we say we're going to find the duration of the trip, but then we're going to have a problem when we find the duration of the trip, because at some point the train was not moving. That is not part of the speed, right? When a train is not moving, the speed is at 0. So you can't include that when you calculate the speed. So what we're going to do is first is we're going to calculate the time, and then we're going to find the time the train was moving. 5.4. We're going to find the time the train was moving. So let's start by saying 12:03 minus 8:06, right? So we're going to find the duration. When you find the duration, it's like calculating the difference, highest minus lowest. Keeping in mind, since I don't know if we're going to do a question, that if you're doing 2 days, I suggest you do it manually rather than doing this calculation, because if you're doing from one day to the next, this becomes a problem, right? So we're going to say 12:03 minus 8:06, right? So we're just going to find the duration of the whole trip of the train, right? So we're going to say 3, you can't minus 6 from there, so we're going to borrow. And when you come to borrow here, they say no, we can't borrow you because we can't borrow you because we have nothing. And then we go to borrow there. Once we cross over there, we are now borrowing from hours. So when we borrow 1 from there, we are borrowing hours, and then it's left with 1. And then when we move to that side over there, the hour, it goes to minutes, and they say, oh, we have to change, and they become minutes, as in 60 minutes, which is also 1 hour. So I'm going to write it completely like that so that it makes sense. I took an hour here, I crossed to the minutes. When it crossing, it says I have to convert to minutes, right? And then it becomes 60. So remember, we're borrowing from here for here, so we still have 60 here. So now we're going to say 60, please borrow us 10, and then we're left with 5, and then that 10 becomes there, and now we have a 10 there. 10 plus 3 becomes 13, minus 6, that becomes 13 minus 6 becomes a 7, right? So that becomes a 7. Now we're going to say 5 minus nothing, that's 57. And then we're going to say what we can minus 8 from there. This is a 10, right? So when we multiply there, and then 10 plus 1 becomes 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. Am I right? Yes. 11 minus 8, you leave with 3. So the trip was 3 hours and 57 minutes. Okay. What's going to happen is we're going to say how many minutes did the train stop? It stopped for 4 minutes 8 times. So that would be 8 times would be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. 1, 2, 3 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is equal to 32 minutes. So now we're going to subtract 32 minutes from here. And we're going to say that is 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. So this train actually traveled for 3 hours and 25 minutes, right? It traveled for 3 hours and 25 minutes. Now we can use it to calculate speed by calculating, by substituting time. Now I have one last problem. Minutes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to convert this to say this is 3 hours and 25 minutes. This is how you're actually supposed to answer this. Okay, now we're going to say 3 hours plus 25 minutes. I'm going to divide this by 60. Now I have 3 hours plus 25 divided by 60. 0.4166662467 2467. Okay, I'm just going to round off 0.42 hours, right? Now I'm going to add the 2. I'm going to say 3 plus 0.42 hours, and that's 3.42 hours. So I'm going to use this to do the calculation. Okay, so distance is equal to speed times time, right? So let's do that part there. Distance is equal to speed times time. This is the formula. I'm just going to substitute as it is. Here is my unknown. They said calculate speed there. Our speed is unknown there because they say calculate the speed, and then distance is 816. So we're going to substitute distance, which is 816 kilometers, is equal to speed times the time, which is 3.42 hours, right? And then we're going to say speed is sitting with, and so we're going to say 816 kilometers is equal to speed times 3.42 hours, and then we're going to say we're going to divide by 3.42 this side, divide by 3.42 hours that side, and we get speed on sitting alone there. And then we're going to find out what speed is here, so we're going to say 816 divided by 3.42, and we get 238.596. What is that? Kilometers per hour.